The Street of Mansions。朱雀桥边野草花，乌衣巷口夕阳斜。旧时王谢堂前燕，飞入寻常百姓家。Word for word translation. Wild grass flowers by the Vermilion Bridge. The setting sun at the entrance of Wuyi Lane. Old Wangzi Tang Canyon. Fly into the homes of ordinary people. Sense for sense translation. The street of mansions. Beside the bridge of birds rank grasses overgrow. Over the street of mansions the setting sun hangs low. Swallows which skimmed by painted eaves in days gone by are dipping now in homes where humble people occupy. Blackgown Lane. By Red Sparrow Bridge wild grass blooms with zest. Upon Blackgown Lane shines the sun slanting west. The swallows rested afore the noble halls in the past. Now they fly into common houses to make their nest. Creative background and historical metaphors. Time and place. This poem was written in the second year of Tang Jingzong's Baoli, 826. On the way back to Luoyang from Hezhou, Liu Yuxi passed through Jinling now Nanjing and wrote a group of poems. Jinling 5 Questions, and Wuyi Lane was the second. As the capital of the 6 dynasties, Jinling carries the memories of the rise and fall of the wealthy families such as Wang Tao and Xian in the Eastern Jin dynasty. Wuyi Lane used to be a place where the powerful lived, but it has been reduced to ruins in the Tang dynasty. Poets use ancient times to allude to the present, alluding to the political crisis of the separation of feudal towns and the dictatorship of eunuchs in the Middle Tang dynasty. Creative motivation. Liu Yuxi has been relegated for a long time due to the failure of his participation in the Yongxin reform. He witnessed the dilapidated scene of Jinling, combining the ups and downs of his personal eunuch with the rise and fall of history. Expressing his philosophical thoughts on the vicissitudes of power and the impermanence of rise and fall. Images such as wild grass, flowers, and setting sun in the poem are not only real descriptions, but also political metaphors, symbolizing the end of prosperity and the change of times. Verse by verse. Wild grass flowers by the Vermilion Bridge. Imagery and symbol. Once a bustling thoroughfare leading to Wuyi Lane, the Vermilion Bird Bridge is now overgrown with weeds, implying the desolation of the former grandeur. The word wild of wild grass flower reinforces the sense of decay, echoing the thousands of households and thousands of doors have become weeds in the Eastern Jin dynasty, symbolizing the eventual annihilation of the powerful. Geography and history. Vermilion Bridge and Wuyi Lane, adjacent to the bridge by the Tunk building built by Zn, the poet, to connect the history of the 6 dynasties. The formation of contrast. The setting sun at the entrance of Wuyi Lane. Dynamic and atmosphere. The word oblique gives the setting sun a sense of dynamics and renders a desolate atmosphere. The setting sun reflects the ruins, suggesting the irreversible decline of the powerful like the setting sun. This sentence echoes the wild grass flower in the first sentence to form a space and strengthen the artistic conception of desolation. Old Wang Zhaoting Qionyun. The artistic technique of seeing the big from the small, as a witness to history. Swallows continue the biological characteristics of migratory birds living in old nests, which actually alludes to the change of ownership of the mansion and the decline of the powerful. The poet uses swallows to remain unchanged, to contrast the great changes of the world, highlighting the absurdity of the vicissitudes of life. Metaphor and irony. Swallow was originally a symbol of Wangzi, but flying into the homes of hundreds of people broke the class solidification, implying that the emerging elites in the Middle 10th dynasty would eventually repeat the same mistakes. fly into the homes of ordinary people. Contrast and philosophy. Ordinary and Wangzi form a strong contrast, dispelling the myth of the eternity of the powerful. Poets reveal the laws of history in plain language. Whether kings, generals, or commoners, they will eventually return to the ordinary in time. Artistic characteristics and innovation. Implicit lyrical way. There is no word in the whole poem to express the heart, but through images such as weeds, sunsets, swallows, etc., to express feelings with scenery. For example, the word old time gives swallows a historical perspective and guides readers to realize the sigh of rise and fall by themselves. Comparison of past and present, an interweaving of time and space. Horizontal comparison is formed between the desolate status of Vermilion Bird Bridge and Wuyi Lane, and the prosperity of the Six Dynasties, the unchanged of the swallow, and the great change of the mansion owner, which deepens the sense of historical vicissitudes in two dimensions. Language, condensation, and image tension. The verbs oblique and fly dynamically outline the scene, and the adjectives ordinary and old time imply criticism. The combination of wild grass and flowers and sunset oblique in the poem is simple and complex too. Achieve the artistic effect of shallow language and deep taste. Cultural influence and philosophical implications. The universality of historical philosophy. The poet used the rise and fall of the Six Dynasties to reveal the historical law of prosperity will decline, implying a warning to the political situation in the Middle Tang Dynasty. The poem Old Wangzi Tang Qianyang became a classic symbol of allegory of the powerful and was repeatedly quoted by later generations. Cross-generational resonance. This poem has become a model of epic poetry because of its vivid images and universal emotions. Shibu Hua in the Qing dynasty commented on his extremely melody with a pen, but modern scholars believe that it shows the profound philosophical thinking of equality of all beings. Version rheology and propagation. The Song Dynasty version is Watching the Moonlight embed, and the Ming Dynasty is changed to Bright Moonlight, which became the mainstream due to the harmony of rhythm. There are more than 100 English translations, and translators such as Ezra Pound convey poetry through image reconstruction. 朱雀桥边野草花，乌衣巷口夕阳斜。旧时王谢堂前燕，飞入寻常百姓家。The street of mansions. Beside the bridge of birds rank, grasses overgrow. Over the street of mansions, the setting sun hangs low. Swallows, which skimmed by painted eaves in days gone by, are dipping now in homes where humble people occupy. Blackgown Lane. By Red Sparrow Bridge wild grass blooms with zest. Upon Blackgown Lane shines the sun slanting west. The swallows rested afore the noble halls in the past. Now they fly into common houses to make their nest.